Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today my presentation is on a very interesting topic, that is Arrhenius concept of acids and bases in the chapter acids, bases and salts. Before proceeding on with the topic, let me tell you brief about the acids and bases. In our previous classes, we have studied that substances which are sour in taste or bitter in taste are nothing but simply acids and bases respectively. But we are also aware that this definition is not valid for higher classes. Many scientists give different theories about the classification of acids and bases, like we have Lewis concept, we have Bronsted-Lowry concept, we have Arrhenius concept. So before proceeding on with the final topic, let me tell you about the types of acids. Basically, we have two types of acids, that are organic acids and inorganic acids. Organic acids are those acids that are derived from plants and animals. In contrast with this, inorganic acids are those acids which are derived from the minerals. We can have the example in the organic acids, like we have oxalic acid in tomato, we have lactic acid in milk, we have citric acid in citrus fruits, like we have lemon, orange, etc. Like we have in the inorganic acids, we can have the example like HCl, we can have the example H2SO4, we can have the example of nitric acid. Inorganic acids are very weak acids. Inorganic acids are very strong acids. These can be very harmful for us. In contrast with this, organic acids are very weak acids and we can easily intake them. Now finally proceeding with the topic, that is Arrhenius concept of acids and bases. As the name suggests itself, this concept was given by a Swedish scientist named Arrhenius, and he proposed this theory in 1884. So in 1884, he proposed this theory on the basis of theory of ionization. So here comes the question, what is an acid and what is a base in context with the Arrhenius concept? Let me tell you, any compound which on being dissolved in aqueous solution releases H positive ions, the compound is termed as Arrhenius acid. Similarly, any compound which on being dissolved in water releases OH negative ions is termed as Arrhenius base. Let me give you an example to make it more clear. Suppose we have aqueous solution of HCl, it will ionize and release H positive ion. Here we can see these four examples I have mentioned here. These two compounds on being ionized, when we take their aqueous solution, these release H positive ions in their aqueous solution. Similarly, these two compounds release, when they are in aqueous solution, they release OH negative ions. So we can term these compounds as Arrhenius acids and these two compounds as Arrhenius bases. As in the beginning, I told you that there are many theories proposed by different scientists in context with the acids and bases. Like I said that we have Lewis concept, we have Bronsted-Lowry concept, we have Arrhenius concept. This Arrhenius concept has few limitations. That's why many scientists try to overcome those limitations. Like we have the first limitation as this concept was only limited up to water as a solvent. It couldn't explain the acidic or basic nature of a compound which was dissolved in any other solvent other than water. So this was its first limitation. So second limitation is that this theory was unable to explain, or we can say this theory is unable to explain in the present day as well, the acidic nature of some acids which are acids but doesn't possess H positive ions. Like we have sulfur dioxide, we have carbon dioxide. These are acids but these doesn't possess H positive ions. Similarly, this theory is unable to explain the basic nature of some bases which are bases but doesn't possess OH negative ions. Like we have ammonia, we have calcium oxide. These are bases, but these doesn't possess OH negative ions. So this was its limitations. Now here we have also another limitation of it. This theory proposes that there are free H positive and OH negative ions in water. It states that these are freely existed in the water, but in reality we know that these doesn't exist freely. Let me tell you how these doesn't exist freely. Let me give an example. Suppose we have H positive ion in water. It will make a hydronium ion here. Similarly, we have OH negative ion in water. It will form a bond with it and make dioxidanium ion. Here we have two examples. We have H positive ion in water. It will make hydronium ion by forming bond with water. Similarly, we have OH negative ion in water, and it will form a bond with it and make dioxidanium ion. These two examples simply state that free H positive ions and OH negative ions doesn't exist freely at all. Nutshell, this was about the Arrhenius concept of acids and bases and its limitations. I hope I was able to make it more convenient for you. Thank you.